guys and welcome. My name is Thor. In this week's video, we are going to be talking about Sohc and OHV and DOHC, and these are some of the types of layout in a puppet valves, and you can use them in different ways. And let's get into it. So first we'll start with OHV. You might think I'll start with Sohc, but we'll start with OHV. Okay, so OHV stands for overhead valve or overhead valve system. In an overhead valve system, there is only, first of all I want to say one thing. Okay, so green stands for cam and red stands for puppet valve and blue stands for rocker arm. Please don't forget that. Okay, so right over here you can see this is a single setup. Okay, if you can see, there is only one cam and there's a spring and the puppet valve itself. Spring to retain and close the valve after opening up. So that's why a spring is being used in a puppet valve. If you can see, this is general setup, but this takes much more area, but this is the general setup which is used. Okay, so this is one puppet valve. It's anti-clockwise. If it moves like this way, what happens is that it pushes this rocker arm. It pushes this rocker arm. It causes a contact. Okay, when it causes a contact, it makes the rocker arm go up down. Okay, if it moves up, what happens is that in this part of the rocker arm, it has to move down. You know that it's a regular thing. Okay, if I take, for example, if I take a marker, if I push it in this side, what happens is that the other side moves down. Same thing. It's just like a seesaw principle. Like a seesaw, when you give weight to one area, it just closes the other area down. Give weight to another area and it closes the other area down. Same thing here. It pushes here. Okay, when it causes contact right over here, it makes the rocker arm move down. It's caused by a push rod. And this is a push rod principle. Okay, so in the push rod, and this is springs, okay, just to retain back, and this is the piston. Imagine it's just like this, but it isn't how it looks, but this is the principle in it. And then the puppet valve moves down, and then what happens, you know, the spring again makes it go up, and then that's it. It just it's a regular portion, and overall that's it. That's the simple thing. Okay, and but you can use this in a V like this also. I said over that, but doesn't mean over the top itself. You can use it just like this. But if you can see, there is a cam right over here. And these right over here, these black lines, these are known as lifters. These lifters, what they do is that when the cam causes a contact with the lifters, it pushes the rocker arm, and then, you know, the push rod pushes the puppet valves, and then the puppet valves move up and down regarding their position, what they have been done. Like when I'm stopping in the middle of video, but see, 69% of you aren't subscribing to my channel. So please consider subscribing to my channel, please. That's all I'm asking for you. You can get notified whenever I post a new video. If you subscribe to me, I can make better and greater videos. Please guys, I just ask you to subscribe to my channel. That's it, please. When the cam pushes up, or it's in a regular position where it didn't cause a contact yet still. So this is one simple principle. You can use it in a V engine, but it takes some space in the V format. If this is a V engine, let's say, and there are some space right over here, this area, these particular areas. So in this particular area, you are wasting space. In those space, there are lines going for the fuel rails and many more things. So you can use this setup, but it's not regarded because there are some problems with that. I'll tell you later on. But this setup is compact and less complex. You saw here. Let's move on to Sohc. So Sohc stands for single overhead cam. Like I said before, single. See, so this one right over here in the cam, if you can see, there's only one cam, but there are two rocker arms. Why? This is a single overhead cam. That means, like, simple, we can say it's simply that one cam controls two puppet valves. That's it. So in this when this cam hits this particular rocker arm, it pushes this puppet valve. Same principle, from here to here, the puppet valve moves down, and then it's closed back on by the spring. When it hits this particular rocker arm, what happens? It closes this one and opens this one by the spring. That's it. Very simple. But this system was perfectly Sohc were before used in VR engines also, guys, and it was a major advantage. Reduce cost, reduce you know, weight, and that's it. Because you see, in a dual head, you need two cams, and two cam shafts are required, because one for one particular one. So you know that general setup, if you're automobilist just like me. But if you can see, it's more efficient also. Like, one thing I want to say, for example, if you take a DOHC and a Sohc in a 16 valve, Sohc tends to produce better torque compared to a DOHC. So it varies in difference. If you're designing a V engine, but a distance, like the number of pistons, the number of valves, you want to check it out, like do some calculations for this one, and you know, the regular ones. So that's the thing about Sohc. Like you see right over here, it's only for one particular one. And the one thing I want to say, less inertial force. Yes, if you can see there are only smaller parts moving up and down. Here's the main problem. If you can see in a higher RPMs, what happened is there is no like it's balanced, but if you can see one thing is that it will cause some, when it's in the higher RPMs it has to move much more faster. When the lifters move up and down, it may cause some imbalances. So because of that, it's a slight disadvantage in the OHV. That's why we don't use this type of one in particularly, but I would say SOHC takes an advantage right over here. That's why SOHC we use the most of them, and OHV is not particularly used in most of the vehicles, but still a reliable one. Okay, if you move on, DOHC, that's the dual overhead cam system. You can see, for example, I drew some pistons and then regular setup. So if you can see 3 pistons and DOHC, these circular lines, I'm really sorry I didn't use the proper color, but here see. So pistons in the black one, and the green stands for the cam systems in the DOHC ones, and then the valves. These are the valves, okay, in the regular valve system. This is not poppet valves. This is the valves closing and opening down. This is the valve head, okay. So if you can see the valve head, there are 4. Like I said before, modern cars use 4 valves, not 2. Before, cars used 2, even they used 4, but still they didn't design it very properly, like and used properly. So first of all, I want to show some images to understand. So this is how a poppet valve looks, and this is how a lifters look, and this is how a rocker arm looks. If we move on, like I said before, see here, okay, concentrate right over here. DOHC, that means 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. That's what most of the regular cars uses right now. A regular car, my Honda BRV uses the same one, my Audi Q7 uses the same thing. Yes, that's the most common one. Why? They produce better performance and they are great at higher RPMs. That's the main thing why DOHC is best, and you can use them pretty much likely in everything. And it's way less complex and easy to take care also, and it's very less complex to be said, but things are adding weight little bit. If you see SOHC, but this is very much better. And rocker arms, you need to take much more maintenance for SOHC compared to DOHC. You might say, some say that DOHC require more maintenance, but SOHC, because you see rods, rocker arms, most of those things should be balanced properly. If a rocker arm sits improperly from its original position when I'm sitting down, sometimes rocker arms are closed like this, sometimes down. It depends on the automotive manufacturer, but DOHC is very much easy. So if you see only 1 poppet valve, only 2 camshaft, 2 valves, very easy. That's why DOHC is easy to manufacture, like easy to make, but adds weight and adds more amount of money. But I would say DOHC you can use in every day, and it's better compared to SOHC and OHV. If you want to make OHV in better way, you can do it, adding more things and much more things you can do it. SOHC also same thing, but SOHC is good in something. Like I said before, see 16 valve system, it produces higher RPM. You want to calculate those things, okay, higher RPMs. You want to make sure what's the displacement. You have to take a lot of measurements and a lot of things for it. But this is the main thing right over here. That's all. So that's what I wanted to talk about. So SOHC, OHV and DOHC. So that's all for this week's video, guys, and hope you like this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time around. Peace.